Hello, we will review the game between Valerii and Cezary. Valerii took black. And by the way, you can see a different board than in earlier reviews. We are using Explorer Baduk server and not OGS as before. Standard opening. It is possible for white to play here. This is the most common Joseki. However, it can be called a bit comfortable for black in the current situation when this ladder works. If black can capture the stone in a ladder, then black is happy with the result. White would need to answer, and black can add a move, or can wait with adding a move, but maybe add a move immediately is best. Then to avoid that variation, white plays to this side, and locally it's considered a little bit better for black, but now white is destroying black's potential of that high Shimari. So it's an even result. Then we see a Joseki with a pincer, and black continues with the old school way. This is the Joseki which we all played in our youth many times. But actually, having the stones on the other side, it's more common for black to counter pincer. If white jumps, black can jump. If white jumps again, black can jump out. White can cover black actually, but black can simply sacrifice the stones and it is completely fine for black. And the other option which white has is attach here. This is quite a clever move which tries to over-concentrate black and get, I'm not sure if it's really over-concentrated, just a little bit, but get useful stones against the group on the other side. I'm not sure if now play here or still jump out from this group. But then there is also another Joseki. Black just connects underneath and gives white the influence. Interesting Joseki. Good to know. All right. But in the game we have the old school Joseki. Push. So this push is not really necessary in the Joseki. This move is a common play, but now, well, what is the threat of this move? The threat of this move is that later black can attach here and get strength on that side. But now this strength is useless. It would be super over-concentrated. So this move would be gote, and that's why black doesn't want to play. Black prefers to push. And then, well, black pushed once more, but then it's not really logical. This move puts even less pressure on white. Then maybe it would be preferred to play here. But in fact, instead of playing anything on this side, it's also a common choice for black to play some move which would strengthen the stones on the other side. There is a weakness which we will see in a moment. So black can play here. Black didn't do it because apparently black was afraid of white pushing through. But maybe after we pushed once, already white's pushing through is not so powerful because we are close enough to the wall. So probably black should play like this. Maybe black was still scared of such a variation. But black gets so much power in this variation, and it seems that it's difficult still for white to really go into it. But it's quite complicated. Anyway, in the game black loses center here. Black plays this move now. White made an exchange, and it's clear why white makes it. If white doesn't make it, then later black can get a good shape around here, block white. However, by making this exchange, white weakens the group on the other side. Otherwise, if white doesn't do it, this move threatens a good continuation. Threatens capturing a stone. So now that move doesn't threaten anything. So the whole group becomes much weaker. So there are downsides and good sides of this move. Okay, but anyway, White didn't really need to add this move to his group on the top, because what White did next after making this exchange was cutting through. So if White anyway cuts through, White can start by cutting through, and the group on the top will not need this additional defense, which is an Ajikeshi. That's why it was a bad idea. And here comes a very interesting consideration. White cut through with this move and cut off Black's stone, which is nice for White. However, if you saw this played in games of professionals, you would rather see this move. White is not afraid of the cut from this side. This looks like a disaster for Black, or yeah, let's say like this. It's like Black is playing from the inside, White is getting strong on the outside. So Black is anyway going to play from this side. And then, which is better? This or what happened in the game? Difficult to say. Difficult to say which result is better for whom. But in fact, Black had a good idea, good opportunity, which Black missed. So in the game, Black just lets White cut the stone off, but then finds a weakness in White's corner. Still, it's possible to live there in the corner. But instead, Black could invade the corner immediately, then follow with this move. And without that exchange, it's much easier for Black to build a shape. Maybe in the game, Black didn't play this Hane, which is what you would usually play, because Black sees that now the connection doesn't threaten much. White can play from the other side, and it seems that Black might die in the corner. So that's why. But if Black starts with this move, now it's completely valid to play Hane, and now White needs to somehow defend. Black leaves much bigger, and what is the value of this move? And like if White plays here now, Black will not answer like this, what we saw in the other variation, if White starts with the wedge. That's why White needs to start with the wedge, force Black to play this move, and then create a weak point, and then it's all better for White. So this empty triangle is bad because it doesn't create puts pressure on Black. This was a very interesting start of the game. Black gained strength, White got points. The game continues. Another Joseki here, and White attaches another Joseki there. Black creates a bottom side. White put pressure on Black, but Black lived on quite a big scale, we can say. It was possible to put more pressure, to play this. Also, Black lives in Gote, but it seems on a smaller scale, no? After this move, Black gained that stone on the outside. And yeah, in terms of points, it's comparable. But certainly that stone on the outside, and later even a possibility to play this exchange, because still the group of Black is locally alive here. So maybe Black could have even played it now, but Black skipped it. Black leaves it for later. Okay, White adds a move, and then Black attacks on that side, tries to push against White's shape and create a moyo. A reasonable move. And in fact, like when I watched the game, I also expected this move of White. It seemed to me that I would also play here. But AI disagrees. AI says that this is much more important area of the board. And it makes sense, because on the left side, this group of White is already completely safe. And the other group is also not very weak. But on the right side, the stones of White are much weaker. They are still fragile. So yeah, there are a lot of points to be taken on the left side, but taken from very strong stones. So it's not very interesting, and still Black will be able to reduce from the top, reduce from the top, and then build a big moyo. So a better idea was to cut through here. Maybe looks a bit risky, but in fact it would be unreasonable for black to start this fight, though I am not completely sure how the fight should go. White might even consider sacrificing the corner in such a fight, but not sure if this is the best idea. It's also possible to build a base in the corner. If black plays here, then white can attack from the outside. And even double hane here, right? If here, then here. If here, then, well, black is in trouble. So white should have started the fight here. But in the game, black gets the opportunity to attach, and then white tried to fight back. I didn't see this move before. Very interesting. Maybe it's a Joseki. I am not sure if Cezary played it, just invented this on the spot. But it didn't really go well for white, even though it looks kind of like a Tesuji. It looks like a clever move. Aims at basically getting this shape, which would be a bit more comfortable for white than getting that shape. I guess a bit more comfortable, a bit more space for white after this move. But black cut from the other side, and now we can see the meaning of white's Tesuji. Black is not able to cut white stones because now black cannot capture the stone on the third line, but black captured it immediately. Then white managed to connect. Now again the cut doesn't work, but black keeps calm, and white ends up being split, and now that group is really in trouble. Even if white cuts here, it's only a ko for ice, and there is no possibility of winning the ko in a great manner by capturing that stone. In fact, it wouldn't even be a ko if the exchange was not made. This is important to say. If the exchange is not made, then white can play here, but then extend. Black plays Atari, and now, well, we imagine that there are no stones here. Now white can continue like this and simply capture black in the corner and live with the group. So that was white's mistake, and to play that earlier and now to get split. So in the game, white runs out, which looks very intuitive, but here again a good idea from AI, which I didn't come up with myself. After this move, white's shape is quite fragile. This is the vital point which black takes immediately, and black can easily run out, and white doesn't have an eye shape. This is the vital point, so white should play here by himself. If white manages to enclose black, then black is not alive currently on the inside, so for sure black will need to go out. But well, with this eye shape, it's much easier for white to keep this fight, even maybe even playing here. But there is still this option of the ko. We don't need to be too scared. Basically, the group on the right side is now managed. It will not die, and we will just need to take care of the group on the bottom afterwards. But in the game, both groups are quite in trouble, and this was the start of big problems of white. So black split white. Here white has guts to not connect immediately, but instead to make a good exchange first. But then white had no guts to continue on that plan. But why not? Of course, the next move is also possible. Black will not go for that one because hane is very painful, and then the connection is also played in a very good shape. So all in all, white runs out very comfortably. But in the game, white connects, and then black didn't play this immediately. Apparently, it's a bit risky. Not sure if cut like this, maybe rather start with that move to make it less crude. But anyway, in the game, black plays this move, and black's able to put a lot of pressure on the group on the bottom and on the group on the top. White's hope is to put in danger the group of black, but black managed the group well. If now white tries to kill it, there is this Tesuji. And now I find it super unfortunate what white played next. This was, I think, the final losing move of white. White played here and black connected, and white still has two groups, which are very much in trouble. But there was a Tesuji, a very beautiful Tesuji, which white unfortunately missed. It's possible to play here, this exchange. And after this exchange, there is no threat that black captures the 3 stones. Now we can play here. And this will not capture our stones. So black will follow up with this move, white will connect, black will need to make ice, but white is already almost alive. Black can still start a call there, but yeah, it's much more comfortable situation for white in terms of the strength of the group and also in terms of points, white points and black points of territory in that corner. So yeah, very unfortunate that white missed that chance. Yeah, in fact, it was possible to even start with this move and play this exchange later, but not too late. Unfortunately, now it would be too late. Maybe white considered this variation, saw that it doesn't work and didn't come up with the idea to make the exchange right away. It's very often the way to find a Tesuji to insert a center exchange before it looks the most natural. And this way we can go from the natural variation which doesn't work for us to a variation which magically works. So now black didn't even try to attack the groups of white to kill them, but just tried to collect points while attacking, and this worked for black. I think not much more happened in the game. Black simply reduced white's territories everywhere, and after some time white resigned. Black had quite a significant advantage. Yeah, good start of the game. For white it was all normal or even advantageous a little bit, or like well, we discussed that Joseki on the top, it was a bit in white's favor, but other than that, yeah, the game continued with a quite calm fashion with one problem. This move brought the situation to just uncomfortable for white from the strategic perspective. Without this mistake, the game was completely fine. Yeah, so this is it about this game. Thank you for listening, and we will move to the next one.